see. Oh, look at the hair sticking up. Give it a second. Hey guys, Staff Sergeant Moe. I'll wait for everybody to come on. Or, you know, whoever's out there. Play with my hair. So we're on the road trip. And, well, we've got 12 viewers. So I'll start talking. We are heading to Nevada, Pahrump, Nevada. Do you want to say hi, Jamie?
Hi, Jamie.
I love when people do that. So we had a couple like snafus. I had to get a tail light, brake light fixed or replaced. We replaced that. Jamie took care of that for me. And then I needed to buy some more water. And then I realized I didn't have my cell phone because I was getting ready to go live. And we had to go all the way back to the house. So luckily we didn't even make it out of the town of Bonnie Lake. It's only 15 minutes from the house. So we've had a few delays besides me always being late because of other important delays, so it was worth it. I doubt that I'm actually going to make it to my little jail cell tonight, so I don't know if my punishment's going to be extra long. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm sure it's just going to be the same since this is, you know, just our mock jail cell. But I am definitely on the road now. Finally. And whenever I arrive at this point, you know. I mean, there's going to be a couple stops between here and there for food, and we've got Jamie's pups here with us. Where are you guys? Laying down? Are you guys being good? Yeah, they're being good. So there we go. You know, so, you know, we'll get there when we get there. So John, Kelly, we're finally actually on the road. Sorry about my delays. I was really hoping to leave, you know, early this morning, but I'm always doing something else, and I'm not, you know, that detracts me. So it happens. But now we are finally on the road. I'm going to head down there and at a good time. You know, if I get there like really super late in the middle of the night, obviously we're just going to rest and wait till the morning and wake up. We'll stay at the camp and sleep in my car and wake up, and then we'll put me in jail. All right, so that's the plan. And I have an idea too, because, you know, and I'll repeat this when I go to jail and I'm on live. It's the end of the month, and a lot of people have donated like crazy, and I know we're all tight funds, you know, but Jason's needs are valid, and I'm going to do this, and this is my lull. You know, we had a stopping point at my house because I got to wait for another company that has to come in later, so I can't just rush it on the market right now. It's not ready. We're at the tail end though. We're on the downslope. But while we're on this lull, and as you guys know, I'm auctioning things for Jason and Daryl as he needs. I just thought, you know, there's all kinds of thoughts going through my head doing this for Jason and his family. It's not going to be comfortable, I know that. I've never been in cuffs before, but I'm well aware that being restrained is not going to be something I'm going to enjoy. But this isn't really just about the money either at this point. This is spreading awareness. This is education. His family has some needs, and I'll discuss that and educate about that when I'm in the jail. But I think one of the things I'm seeing come out of this that is extremely beneficial is that it's extremely educational, and it's really making an impact, a positive impact, and educating people about prison abuse and educating people about the case itself, both in Nevada. And as you guys know, I'm closest to Oregon, and although I don't ignore Nevada, because I've been there already, we've had a great result back in fall for a full acquittal, but then we had a very devastating blow for 5 that were wrongfully found guilty. We also had a second devastating blow for Todd Engel and Greg Burleson, who were found guilty in Nevada. And like, you know, I know you the people that have been following this closely understand that these cases are extremely tied together, even though they were two separate events. 2014 Bundy Ranch Stand Up and the Wildlife Malheur Refuge Stand Up. But you know, we know, even if the federal government is trying to criminalize our peaceful protests and assemblies, whether it be about our Second Amendment rights, or our freedom of speech, or our redress of grievances on behalf of the Hammonds, and our civil disobedience, acts of civil disobedience, and they're trying to make us into terrorists. We know that it's not true, that we're not terrorists, that we are peaceful. We know that the fear is fake. We know that the federal government's fear is fake. We know that impeding is not actually impeding on anybody. They don't give a crap, and that they love anything that we do, even if it's peaceful. They're going to spin a negative propaganda story, and they're going to use that to try to paint us as terrorists, even though they have riots and out of control protesters or rioters going on throughout the nation. And then as you all see, even though the plights of the people speaking in some cases are very valid, their actions are not principled when they're destroying private property and
their
and
fear
other
isn't
things.
what their fear isn't terroristic.
Yeah, they don't fear us. They're just this
their
bullshit.
fear is that we bring light to their corruption, and more Americans see the corruption that's involved.
The real fear.
That's the fear.
Yeah, the real fear. That I would say that is so good. A great point. There is a real fear that they do have of us. They fear that our peaceful acts are working. So they need to silence us any way they can, even if it's unjust and wrong, immoral, unethical, and dishonorable. And you know, today's Memorial Day. And thank you, veterans. Those that have been serving. I got my dog tags on, by the way. I'm retired.
Thank you, Moe.
Never doing it again. You know, there's a lot of brothers and sisters we lost. That's a whole nother video. And I'm thinking of them. And I'm also thinking of great patriot men and women that have been serving this country across our nation, standing up for our rights. We may feel alone sometimes, but it is significantly growing. And if the government fears the truth from spreading, they should, because the truth is spreading. They should fear that our peaceful truth telling is spreading, because it is. And we're finding all kinds of different ways to do it and methods, and we're changing it and adapting, and we're going to keep doing it, federal government. We will not stop bringing awareness to your corruption when you're corrupt. We will hold your feet to the fire, and we will tell many, many more that still have yet to wake up. I understand the federal government is fighting almost the same battle, except they lack total integrity, as you know, with their online trolls and their paid agitators and their informants and their deception tactics, and their outright lies in the court of law. They break their own laws. They act like they're above the law. They act like they're above us. They're tyrants. They're tyrants is what they are. Nothing more than tyrants with guns and tasers to control the population. I just don't fear that, personally. But it takes people like that who are able to maybe have a healthy dose of deep down fear somewhere inside, but able to keep pressing forward with courage. So some of my training was very useful in the military. I may have seen things I didn't like about the military. I may have seen some of the corruption that opened my eyes, but I don't regret my career. I don't regret it at all. I regret the fact that my nation fell asleep. I regret the fact that generations before us weren't able to see the truth before, when there were signs then. Yeah, they're going to run out of Kool-Aid sooner or later, Rob. That is right. And, I'm just not going to lay down just because we have a bunch of men in prison and allow what they are doing, wrongfully doing to those people, to quiet, to silence me, to stop what I'm doing. the threat and intimidation of one day arresting me by profiling me as an unindicted co-conspirator, fine, threaten me. That's threat. There's threat and intimidations to take away my pursuit of happiness and liberties. And shoot, like I said in a video recently, what is liberty? What is freedom? What does that actually look like? If I want to go out and have recreational fun right now on public lands and in public waters, I'm paying for my freedom. I have to pay for my freedom. And that's not liberty. We're paying taxes, and anything we purchase, everything is taxed. That's not liberty. Multiple times, and that's not constitutional. You know, and why do I have a Social Security card? You know, Jason Patrick just was making a point because he was talking to an inmate, and he was, you know, enlightening this inmate about what real freedom is. He's like, you have a Social Security card, right? And the guy said, yeah. And he said, why? Because I do. I don't know. Do you need it? Well, I think I need it. I mean, people ask for it. Well, it's your Social Security card, they tell you, right? So if it's yours, then why can't you just put it down and walk away from it? If they tell you you have to have it, like Nazi Germany, papers, please, that you have to have it, then it's theirs. That Social Security card isn't yours. Because if you don't want it and need it, you should be able to put it down and walk away from it and not have it on your person. Is that freedom then? If you have to have it on you as a form of secondary identification to apply for property that you're purchasing already, or apply for programs that you're eligible for already? And not only that, as we know, our Social Security numbers get abused, and our IDs get scammed from us. You know, I mean, it's just another one of those things. So it's just something to think about, you know. I'm not saying that it's not on the book of law to have it. What I am saying, it's not constitutional if someone chooses to walk away from their identifications. We shouldn't have to have them. How are they needed? Does it help you breathe air? Does it help you eat? Does it help you, you know, how is it a necessary, how does a piece of paper help you live other than by force? If you don't have it, it helps the federal government, not you as an individual. Tracking you and your purchases or your requirements or your eligibilities for what program, you know, and when we're in the system of the government, we meet these requirements because they say we have to.
It's all for your safety.
They're abusing the people now. It's all for your safety and security, except that Social Security number is so vulnerable to ID theft. It's actually a bigger problem babysitting your own Social Security number, yours or theirs. Babysitting their Social Security number, not yours. It's not yours. If you can't put it down and walk away from it, it's not yours. There is so much we need to educate on. And these men that stood up in 2014 and again in 2016 are doing just that. We're doing just that, and the government is criminalizing them, even though they were absolutely peaceful. And that is the education I still see that this is another creative way, putting ourselves through a little bit of soft torture is another creative way to get the message out. Dramatic? Well, we're in dramatic times, people. We are dramatically being ruled by a dramatic, tyrannical government.
We're going towards
we're going straight, because we're going to take 512. So actually get in the only lane. Sorry, guys.
Gotcha.
And stay on 512, and it's going to take us to I-5 South.
Gotcha.
Alright, so I'm going to read some of you guys' comments. A lot of this, I have a lot on my mind that I'm going to talk about in the cell while I'm still coherent. I'll save it for there. But this is a little taste, because for me, there's other practical reasons for me to make this decision and do this. And you guys know, if you know me, you know that I'm trying to learn and grow myself. And as I learn and grow, share that information that I'm learning from and educate you. I am come so far since last year in freeing my mind. We're not getting over, just so you know. Okay, we're going over the overpass. Okay, I'm so bossy. No, I'm not. I'm not always bossy. He's taking great care of me. Jamey is taking great care of me. My house. My daughter's furious with me right now, but we'll get through that. Because this is unexpected, and it was, like I always do, making my last minute decisions, like, you know what, this is what I need to do. When an idea pops in my head, I need to just go do it. Because what happens when I say, okay, I want to commit to this, but I can't do it, I have to do it on a later date, it falls to the wayside, and then I don't follow through, and I don't like that, so sometimes I just got to jump on it. And this idea popped in. I think it's valuable that we raise more awareness and educate. And the other thing is the funds I'm going to raise specifically for Jason Patrick and his family. Jason Patrick and his mom and his sister. And I will go into the details as to what they need and why. And why we came up with a number for my bail for $2,000. Is also important for his needs, but also I lost track of thought. Darn it, I wish he could read my mind and everybody could help me. Going into the cell, going down there, why? Besides education. Oh, I remember now. Okay, so I'm raising the money, right? Okay, so it's the end of the month. Everybody, almost everybody, is tapped out. I want this to reach far and wide for anybody that, you know, still wishes to give and has the ability to give, right? But there's so many that have given so much already, and I gotta tell you guys are freaking amazing. Love the financial warriors that stepped up to the plate to help the Ammon Bundy defense team. Just Ammon Bundy, yes. And love the supporters that helped out Roxana Ryan to help her and her son raise $5,000 and then go over the top to $5,200. And all of these things are educational. Love the financial warriors that have helped Andrea Olson Parker to help her, and Eric Parker. Man, you guys rock. So here's what I was thinking would be important. Since a lot of people are tapped out, we're at the end of the month, and I have to do this before a new month. It would be wiser to do this in June, in the early week of June, but I'm not going to be able to. I got to get back to the house. So I got to do it now. But I was thinking we can raise funds still and make our goal and include pledges. So for those people who aren't able now but would love to donate if they had the money, and as soon as they have money will donate. Since we're not on a time sensitive thing to raise money for Jason Patrick and his mom and sister, it's not time sensitive. So I was thinking if you can make a pledge by sending myself, we'll start with me for right now because I got to talk to people, like a PM when I'm engaging in this. We will count those pledges, those promises on your first available, at your convenience, of course, you know, whether it be June 1st or June 10th, whatever the date, right? Whatever it's available, whenever your paycheck comes in and you say, I want to donate $5 on this day. I don't have any today, but I'm going to pledge, you know, $1 or $5 or $10, whatever your amount is, whatever you're comfortable sharing. If you pledge it and you send me a PM pledging it, we're going to count that towards meeting my goal, okay? So that's what I was coming up with in my mind. I'm like, people are not going to have money right now, and this is the only available date, and they really can use your help, and I'll explain that while I'm in the cell. And so yeah, if we're going to do it, we're going to do kind of a thing where if you have the money, great. A bird almost committed suicide on top of my car. It was weird. And so we're going to, if you have the money and you can donate right now, great, when I'm there. If you do not, but you would love to donate later, and you pledge a certain amount, we'll accept the pledges towards our goal. I don't have to have cash in hand in an emergency. It's not time sensitive. So I just want to give those options for those that cannot give now but would love to participate. We will accept those pledges, okay? So that's the most important thing in this pre-message. We got a long trip ahead of us, literally only 30 minutes away from my house right now, if that. Sorry about the delays. I apologize. It's all my fault. Jamie has been ready since like 9 o'clock this morning. He was ready to roll. I was not. I'm always doing something. Talking to someone's ear out, whatever. Or they're talking to me.
Guy, all I have to do is throw stuff in a bag and be ready to go.
Then there's me. I'm like, no, I'm going to be on camera, so I got to wear my makeup and my hair needs to look kind. Yeah, I'm a girl all the way. Soldier or not, I'm not getting on camera unless I look decent. I ain't going to let you guys see what I look like when I wake up. So anyway, I love you all. And I said I'd go through some remesh. Let me see if there's any questions or statements I should address before I let you go. Thank you, Nancy. I'm all the way to the top. Thank you, Kath. Thank you, Kath Brady. Hey, Dale. Hey, Dale. I made it on the road, Dale. Thank you for holding us in prayers that I asked for.
Thank you.
Very much. Sheila, oh, thank you.
Hi, Sheila.
Yeah, your guys' emotional support, and like, not that I express, I'm a very, there's some things I don't mind sharing with you guys. I'm tough enough. I am very vulnerable emotionally. I am. I'm very typical, more than you guys get to see. I've just also learned to categorize things so I don't always wear my emotions on my sleeve. But I've given you guys, you know, a little bit of who I really am here and there. So, you know, this is an emotional decision for me because I have a lot on my mind about Jason and his mom and their plight. And our nation's in distress. It's Memorial Day right now. You know, I'm worried about expressing or exposing, like, you know, I don't want to be all melodramatic or anything, and, you know, I want to be me, but I don't want y'all, like, I'm concerned, I'm a little nervous, and my friend Rob Allen knows me. He knows I'm hot-tempered, and he knows I can contain it. You know, I'm really good at repressing things. I have a great skill, and probably my 16 years in service has taught me a lot, and I like to learn, you know, in my environment, you know, the best way to behave and conduct myself and express myself so that I'm not shutting people down or out. There's a time and a place for everything. My grandmother raised me believing in that, and although I'm a very vulnerable, susceptible person to emotions and feelings, compassion, things that if I let out of control, you know, or anxiety get the best of me, or depression or anything like that, you know, it's not always a valuable asset. So I've learned that about me. Like, my emotions are true and genuine, but not a valuable asset to express in certain places and situations. And being 42 now, I'm pretty good at it now. Like, in my 20s, I was not good at it. You know, my 20s, if it was on my mind, there was no filter on my mouth. But I've learned that there's value to have a certain filter. And I've learned that there's value in not wearing the emotions on the sleeve in certain situations and things. But this is highly emotional for me, what I'm about to do. And I know that because I've been watching Roxana Ryan and Andrea and others, and many others get into that cell. And I got to tell you, every time I watch it, I'm just like, oh my gosh. Every time I see a loved one in that cell, I want to just rip them out of there. I don't want them in there doing this. I don't want them in there doing this. And you know, Kelly, Jason's sister, totally would have done this. But, you know, she's got obligations at home. She cannot make it. I would never let her. I would do everything in my power not to let her do this. But when I thought about that, I thought, if I were to try to stop Kelly, if she were like, forget it, forget my obligations, I'm going down there and doing it. If I have it in me to want to stop her from doing it, then I have to have it in me to just go do it for her, because she wants to do it. And so that's the one reason I'm going to caveat. I'm going to give it to you now. You know, I was going to save that for when I'm in the cell, but I'm going to give it to y'all now. That I can't. I'm having a hard time telling Jason who's in the cell now, and he's cried multiple times because of the people that have gone forward and volunteered themselves for soft torture and willingly put themselves in there and put themselves through hours and hours of distress. That's upset him significantly. I don't know what he thinks right now. We've had problems communicating right now because, like, I missed my video call the other night. I was with Jeanette, and it was during that speech that I had a video call scheduled. He doesn't even know what I'm doing or what's going on, except that he did have to tell his sister, because she said they got to communicate, and she said, I'm going to Nevada. So he directly asked her, is she going into the cell? And he didn't say whether he's mad or not, so I don't really know yet. And I'm having problems reaching out to him right now. So, but his sister's he's okay. Everything's okay. There's nothing wrong in the jail. But anyway, So I don't know like what he's going to think of that, but I'm doing it, and I don't want his sister in there, and that would be harder on him to have his own sister in there. And somebody almost just hit us. Thank God for Jamey's reactionary skills. Good job. Good job. That was close. I saw that. That was definitely the nose of my vehicle. He was going to put us in a tailspin. That would have been fun for this video. So, I don't want her doing this. I know he doesn't want her doing this. Alright, let's go back to your messages. Thank you, Mo. Liberals are wanting to be the victim. Oh, the government wants to be the victim, but they're not. The government's the perpetrators. All pawns who enforce tyranny need to be sued under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983. The best $400 ever spent. All pawns. Tony, I'm going to tear your name up. I'm like John Lamb that way. I'm terrible with pronouncing it. I'm going to try it out, though. Pellegrino. Tony Pellegrino said, all pawns who enforce tyranny need to be sued under 42 U.S.C. Section 1983. The best $400 I ever spent. I'd love for him to expound on that and teach us about that. Off the top of my head, there's so many laws on the book. I don't know if that's something golden. Let's take a look at it, folks. So take a look at Tony Pellegrino's post. Thank you. Nancy says, thank you. We can never lay down and consent to what they are doing wrong. We have to stand up and say no to this wrong. Yeah, I'm going to be saying no thank you a lot in that cell. No thank you. No thank you. Tony Pellegrino tells us Social Security Act is a Title 42 Section 666. That's creepy. Tony, if that's true, that is creepy. Go figure. You can't make this up. Woo! That's what he said. Go figure. You can't make this up. Kathy Baker, our Social Security number was never supposed to be shared with anyone. Not banks, not driver's licenses, not line of credit, not job applications. Nowadays, they ask for your social. There's more, and I like this paragraph. She says, nowadays, they ask for your Social Security for everything. The back of the Social Security card used to say not share. She is dead on. Rob, wave when you drive by so you guys... Oh, I'm reading that just in time, Rob. Well, I mean, the usual road I would take to get to you, Rob, I did actually pass, but I'm still, you know where I'm going, I-5 South, so I'm very close to you right now, so, waving. Rob knows this, ramp. Oh, there's our mountain, our beautiful mountain. I don't know if you guys can, I don't know if looking out the window does that mountain justice. God, she's gorgeous. That mountain's just, she's just something else. Love you, Rob. Rob's one of my old family friends, a dear, dear friend. I've known Rob since. Rob, I came home in 2004 from that first deployment, right? And that's when Corey introduced us. And like, we met, Corey took me out, my ex-husband, to a bar to meet with Rob, his very best friend. Loves the guy. Corey loves the guy so much. They're old friends, many years before me, and Rob has known Corey's daughter, my stepdaughter Cheyenne, since she was a baby and born in the womb, and knows Melina too, and he's just an amazing friend. I'm so like blessed, and he chooses no sides in my divorce, and he loves us both dearly, very much. He's such a wonderful man. So I did the waving thing. If you can still communicate later, please do. Eyes are out for you. All right, Charles, I'm going to be doing these updates, so watch out for them. It's hard to like I'm going to want to get some rest. I'm going to hydrate. There's going to be a point I'm going to stop hydrating so I'm not peeing all over myself in the box. And there's other people still trying to communicate with me. I'm always busy doing that. And then honestly, I want some quiet time. I need some mental, and Jamey will let me like just be in here, and I want to be mentally, I know adverse conditions. I've been through them many times. I love the challenge, actually. Having fibromyalgia and neurocognitive disorder was very scary for me because I couldn't control something, but I've adapted to it and I've overcome that challenge, and I'm better managing myself most of the time. And I like physical challenges, and but I know how to prepare for them too mentally. When you can train, you have that opportunity to prepare for them. Training is a wonderful thing, even though in the real world the element of surprise is your enemy. And but see, when you train, and then the element of surprise from the enemy comes to you, you're ready for the adversity, and you have muscle memory, mental memory, and you go into that place and you exact and exude what you've already been conditioned. You conditioned yourself for. It's like a switch that flips. So there's like a whole nother personality when I was sent to war. Some things I was, the first deployment, there was a lot of things that the books don't teach you and the training doesn't teach you. But I learned about myself. So, in future deployments, I was able to, I knew, okay, I'm going to Iraq again, and this is how it went last time. This is how I could do it better this time. And I know there are going to be days I'm going to have the worst attitude. I'm going to be an asshole, but how do I do better at that, And I've learned, to categorize in those tactics. I learned things about myself. I'm a huge self-assessor, looking in the mirror like, okay, that's wrong, change that, work on that. I can't fix it all overnight. Nobody's perfect, but I choose and pick what I want to work on, what I prioritize, because it's my self-awareness and it's my person, and I get to do that. And like some people will critique me because they want to see an improvement in me, and I'm like, sure, I'll work on. I'll get to that. And if it's said enough times, I might prioritize it, but I don't have to. I get to pick and choose what I need to work on, and that's also how I like pick and choose my greatest strengths and weaknesses. And one of the things I think is a great strength about me is the skill that I've learned to withdraw, go into my shell, and be able to start categorizing things and meet those physical challenges, pain, adversity, entrapment, and calm, and be calm. Like, the worse this crisis, the worse the situation, the calmer I am. It's just crazy, by the way. And then the littlest things set me off. Like kids and noise. Noises and kids, and I'm like, stop it. But yeah. Rob says I've always been girly. Liar. I'm not always girly. I wasn't girly when we were on the, when we were paint gunning. And you know it, Rob, because I was the last holdout. I was the last holdout, Rob. Me and my daughter. Because she knew to stick by me. Because she knew when our team was losing, I was on a team that lost. A team that got their asses handed to them. And I watched them all get wiped out. I hid. And I took my daughter with me. And she knew to stay close to me, too. So her and I made it. We were the last two for them to kill. And we made it all the way to the top of the hill, baby. We made it on the other side. We made it to the top of the hill, and somebody shot us from behind, and then it was over. But hey, we were the last two holdouts, Rob. I'm not always girly. Psh, whatever. You still look 30 plus. Oh, thank you. 42. You have a slow blow, but it's always at the right target. You do have a slow blow, but it's always, I don't know what you mean, Rob. I'm like, what? Think Jason's feelings are a bit mixed. Tears of sorrow and joy. Tears of pride of the sacrifices made for him, everybody else above. Yeah. It's hard to be an inmate, by the way. So yeah, his feelings are mixed all over the place about it, all of this right now. Oh, Rob, the cell? Oh, okay. So I don't know if you've been noticing videos I've shared, but the mock cell is down in Pahrump, Nevada. And they built these mock cells that are allowing themselves, they're primarily raising money strictly just for Ammon Bundy's defense legal team, right? But other families are more than welcome. Family members, loved ones, those that represent a certain prisoner. Because like some of, our prisoners sometimes need sponsors and their best of, friends standing up for them individually, because like their voices kind of get less heard. You've got some inmates of the P3, Patriot political prisoners, that are a little less known than others. It happens. It's just like society, right? And it's not on purpose. It's just some are more elevated than others because of their significant roles or whichever, whatever it is. And well, Jason Patrick's not really lesser known. I mean, he's been an activist for a long time, and a lot of people know him very well. But he's not gonna advocate for himself. He's well known for his advocacy and his hard work and his principle. He's also well known for being the snow angel down in Georgia, for being a good Samaritan and saving the lives of many Georgians that were in a snow blizzard, that a very, very horrible state emergency situation. He's done other things to help people. way before the Bundy Ranch thing, and he didn't know the Bundys until the Bundy Ranch that he went to them on his own. He didn't know them before that. Just so many things, but he will not advocate for himself. That's something I learned about him as being his friend. I noticed last year how quiet he was, even though he's a great speaker, a great educator, and wise man. When he's the victim of tyranny, he doesn't fight for himself. He doesn't advocate for himself. We got to do it for him, guys. We got to be his voice. He's the voice of many, and he just doesn't know how to think of himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how selfless he is. He's so selfless. He thinks it would be selfish to advocate for himself. That's what I've learned about this man. You guys are both, oh, I love you, Rob. Thank you. I know who you're talking about, Rob, my ex-husband and me. He's a good man. He's helping me out right now, too. So he has not left me high and dry as I transition into my singledom. Moxel time coming up. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're doing down there, Rob, the Moxel. Libby was hardcore, too. That's right. She took it. Okay, so back to the paint gun story. My daughter, Elizabeth, young. How old was she at that time, Rob? Dang it. She was like, because I'm not down to the bottom of the, oopsie, I almost blocked you, Rob. I hate when this thing does that. Oh, I'm at the bottom now. Slow now your temper. My temper, I don't have a temper. Yeah, I do. Anyways, she was my youngest, and she took a hit. Was it on the thigh or the arm or something? And she was really young, and she got a welt, but she was like, she cried for like a second, like, you know, like, meh, you know, like, got hurt. And then, you know, I come by and she's already shaking it off. So that's pretty hardcore, man. At that age too, she was like a little bit nervous about the pain, and then, you know, I was rubbing it, and I come around and I'm like, what's going on, you know? And, oh baby, that's you're welting. You took a hit straight up. So she, it wasn't anywhere where any safety pads were or anything. And just, I think it was the arm or the thigh. I can't remember. It was somewhere to the side. But I have your t-shirt on. Is that, this one's a medium, so. Yeah, today's the day for it. My dog tags and defend the Constitution, because now I defend the Constitution for real. Like, I thought I was defending the Constitution before, but my government wasn't, and my government was giving me orders that were very distracting from understanding what the truth was. Now I defend the Constitution, and I want to enforce the Constitution. And furthermore, the Declaration of Independence holds weight and shall be enforced too, because that's where they're pitting us. The government's out of freaking control, and there's more of us than them. You can take that what it's worth. We'll be peaceful. We'll be peaceful. We will. And when I say there's more of us than them, what I mean is we can peacefully stand and unite in massive numbers and not hurt a fly. And I guarantee you, when we tell the government no more and you're wrong in mass quantities of people, the government will have no option but to put itself back in its choice. But it has to be massive. And if it's not massive, then we're going to deal with the government's aggression. The government is the aggressor, a violent aggressor, have already killed American citizens unjustly, have already perpetrated, they're conditioning people to accept the very bad treatment from guards and feds and U.S. Marshals. They're acting like totalitarians, running around with their mouths and attitudes that are provocative, provoking, intimidating, insightful. You know, so yeah, they're gonna get pushed back with my mouth when I tell them that's enough from you. You don't talk to me like that. Do I look like I've done anything? Have I broken a law? Then stop talking to me like that. You do not speak down to me or speak to me like that. If you have a policy or procedure that you need me to know about, then you tell me what that is, because there's so many freaking policies and procedures and tax codes and maritime laws and laws that are I have no idea. You have got to give me those warnings, I suppose. Not that I agree with that law if it's unconstitutional. But if you're going to cite something to me, you cite it to me with respect and regard to me as your superior. Until I have been found wrong and breaking the law or criminal, you have no option But to do your duty, and I don't believe in the duty description of any law enforcement officer or soldier, is to be negligent or harassful or insightful or aggressive with their terminology or raising and elevating their voice, escalating a situation. No, in their duty description, which is their lawful procedure and protocol, is their conduct is to be extremely selfless, self-serving, and giving to the general population. They're giving a service, is what I mean. And they are to be respectful in nature and kind when approaching you for anything, even if we don't agree with it. And furthermore, we have the right to question what we don't agree with. And furthermore, we can tell them we don't like that. We don't have to be the professionals. They have to be the professionals. So when people get mad at Gavin Syme because he is getting up in their face, they say, you know, you're all blowing it out of proportion. Number one, I haven't seen him once get crazy or act like a crazy anarchist because he's not breaking things, not fun. He's telling them firmly, and he's questioning their authority because they're totalitarians. They don't even know it, and he's educating them. And he's firm about it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you're all afraid of what he's doing, then don't watch. Don't learn from him. Then keep on kissing the boots and licking the boots. I don't care what you do. It's your business, your freedom, and it's your right. All right? He's not an anarchist. Can be. I mean, they're not always, but can be very violent in nature during protests. They're the ones destroying property. That's an anarchist. To say that he acts like an anarchist, that's ridiculous. And that sounds like the federal government, how they exaggerate about us. So, you know, a lot of people out there call themselves, you know, liberty-minded and patriot, and I'm just like, but yet they're willing, because they don't like the way someone goes about things, or they have an opinion or a judgment. A lot of it's misunderstandings and things blown out of proportion. And I've seen it full circle. I've seen it full circle behind the scenes and in front of the camera. And I got to tell you, you sound like the propaganda government will. You sound like you're drinking their Kool-Aid and accusing, you know. He may make accusations that we all don't like about good people and things like that. But we're all adults. We can take care of ourselves. Gavin's accused me of being a loyalist in the past, privately. And I didn't like it. I had a long ways to still wake up, maybe. But a loyalist? No. I had a lot to still learn, maybe, how bad really is, you know. You know, I still wouldn't agree that even then I was a loyalist, because like I'm actionable, and I'm still learning. I'm always going to be still learning, by the way. I'm still learning what freedom looks like, for crying out loud. I was brought up at the same time everybody else was, and conditioned and indoctrinated, and that's going to take forever to wipe away as I march forward and go through this journey of freedom, you know, and explore what real freedom is. But I didn't go out in the public and be like, oh my God, Gavin called me a loyalist. I was even told, like, you know, when I was hurt feelings by a good friend, you know, chill out, calm down, let it go, suck it up. I'm like, of course I will. I'll suck it up. I'm hurt today, and I'm just telling you I'm hurt, and it bothered me, and I'm gonna suck it up. And I did. I sucked it up, and I know where he's coming from when he has concerns about, like, people who are still coming up. You know, I think I have a better understanding that there are people at different levels, and that some people are just not going to get there, and agree with his tactics right now, because they're so afraid still and so intimidated still, because the tyranny's bad. There's good reason to be so afraid and intimidated, because that's the design. It's designed to scare the shit out of you and intimidate you. But some of us have to, like, not let it get to us that way. So that's what we got to do what we got to do. But are you a loyalist over? I would disagree with that. I would not call people names for that. I would say that they're at a different level of awareness. That's something I've learned, and that they may very well one day come to know the truth more and more and more. as I continue to do so myself. I look within and I'm like, well, I'm going through these levels and I've got to give people room to go through these levels too. They may be licking the boots today of men and women that they should be firmer with, but that doesn't mean they're always going to be licking those boots. I don't think they'll always, and so why would I insult them? I don't want to do that. So I wouldn't agree with that, but I would tell you this: his heart's in the right place all the time. His love thy neighbor is the truth. That is genuine. I love these people, man. Like, we all do it differently. Just liberty your own way and stop judging each other. How, like, it'd be great if everybody stopped judging how everybody liberties and what level of awareness we're at, because some people are still very optimistic and hopeful that things aren't as bad as we say. But that's why we ask you to come on the ground and join us, so we can show you actually, yeah, it's as bad as we say. We're not lying, we're not exaggerating. Come join us. That's why we say that all the time. We don't want to be the only ones reporting it, because they won't let our cameras in the courtroom and stuff. But our cameras are on for everything else though, and you're witnessing that on live. If you are following everything real closely, then you are witnessing a lot of tyranny. And you witnessed a lot of tyranny down in Burns, Oregon, with Pete's cameras on all the time, and mine on as often as possible. And other people who went in said, I just want to check it out, see what's really going on for myself. It looks pretty bad, but I'm going to go check it out. And then they check it out and they would report to their small number of, family and friends, like, holy cow, stuff's weird down here, whatever they said. We want you to do that. We want you, the individual American, if you're able to join us where the hot spots are right now, the current events and issues, the trials and things, we want you to witness it with your own eyes also. And so you can get a feel just how much our Constitution is not only eviscerated or chipped away at, but the law is being broken in court. The Constitution, to not be constitutional in the court of law, is to have broken the law, the supreme law of the land. And so your rights and your freedoms don't exist in these courtrooms. So therefore you cannot have due process. There is no justice in these courtrooms. You got to get down there and see it for yourself. And I think that's something, no matter who's divided right now and what's being said, I think that's something we all can agree on. So we better get focused on that and not our damn personality characteristics like Moe. I don't like the way she talks in her videos, or she talks too much, or they're too long. You should shorten them up. I don't care about your opinion. I'm gonna liberty my own way, buddy. And if you don't like my video, then go watch another one. So I don't really care. I'm not doing this for popularity. I'm not doing this to gain your affections. I'm not doing this to be buddy-buddy. I'm doing this so you hear the truth. And if you like the way I do present it, then you're going to listen. And if you don't like the way I present it, then you're going to listen to a different voice. But there's multiple voices out there. Thank God there's multiple voices out there, because I only have, I have 4,600 something members, and then another 4,000, I don't know what the number is, 4,000 something followers. And if that's all I have listening to me, then thank God there's other voices out there, like Pete's and Tilly's. Well, we got to get them out though. And Deb Jordan's voice, and Gavin's voice, and Kelly's voice, and John's voice, and individual voices like Jamey. He just did a great video the other day. So
I wanted to interject something.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
And it just stop off at your local courthouse. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be any individual some in the hot seat right now.
Right.
With our political prisoners, it's rampant throughout our county, our state, our federal. It's rampant throughout. It's not just them attacking us.
Yeah, check your local problems out.
Check your local problems out. Go down to your county court system. Sit in for a half an hour on a case that you know nothing about.
Amen.
And just for yourself, see the tyrannical actions and how the judges and all these people of power that have power to control another human's life.
Yeah, using
how they use that.
Manipulating too.
Manipulation,
and deception, using manipulation and deception. You'll see it if you do what he said in your local communities. Look, it's this systemic, guys. I guarantee you will see the corruption even in your local small towns. You will see corruption because they will slice each other's throats to get into a higher level power position, even in our small communities right now. that's happening now throughout this nation systemically. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real, all right? You know, and I'm tired of the fighting too, and the infighting and stuff too. I can't help everybody stop, because like then they want to misconstrue me and misunderstand me. I can't control that, you know. But let me tell you,
absorb what you want.
Yeah, absorb what you want. Spit out ignore the rest. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not worth the internal conflict. It's not worth, you know, if so-and-so says this, then if you follow them, then we just unfriend me.
Right.
Are we back in fourth grade again?
Yeah, 4th grade, yo. Hey, eat the meat and spit out the bones. Get the education, spit out the stuff that's non-educational. Eat your meat, get your protein, and spit out them bones.
Because we're still searching for the pudding.
Yeah, we're still searching. We got a long ways to go and unite, guys. We don't need the melodrama. We don't need... it's there. I can't stop it from happening. You can't stop it from happening. But I would advise you this. Stop jumping in on it. Stop jumping in on it. If you have maybe a neutral position where you can give people love and support, even if it... Sometimes you give the love and support and they push you away. It'll happen. Or just don't give the love and support. You got to be thick-skinned, though. If you're going to give some love and support and they push you away, it's going to hurt. So, but don't fight back. That's the thing. I would say, like, if they're going to push you away, just let them be. Let them be. Then don't engage any further, okay? But look, it's probably best to not engage. It's probably best to just stay focused and engage on the fact that we have a giant to fight right now and engage in that battle. And then liberty your own way, whether it be local or you go to the hotspots and join us and observe, or you just do your observations in your own local community and look for corruption there and identify it, and then maybe tell us your story. Be your own reporter, you know, citizen journalists. And really there's no reason to engage. That's right, Lori, really it's best not to engage. But sometimes, like, some of us that are closer than others might try to help. And sometimes that help will work, and sometimes it's just not going to work, and you just got to let it go. And, you know, and if you get hurt during the process, don't fight back. Just let it go.
Don't feed.
Yeah, one of the best things that was told to me last year when I got hurt a few times last year from someone is, let it go. I love this person dearly, a wise person, and they told me, let it go. You got to suck it up. Let it go. You know, let it go, Mo. Let it go. And well, guess what? I learned to start really doing that. Like, I want to help, and if I can help, great. And if my help is not wanted, and then they turn, you know, like, get mad at me because I didn't exactly, like, I just stayed neutral on something, and they don't like that, and they resent me for it, whatever. Then, you know, I gotta let it go still. Just like last year was advised to me, I gotta let it go, because you know why? I've got bigger things to deal with. We all have bigger things to deal with. We shouldn't even be bothering with that right now. None of us, far away and close, should not be bothering with that right now. It has nothing to do with the case. It has nothing to do, that melodrama has nothing to do with anything that we got to stand up and deal with on a daily basis. I mean, we're out here, we got prisoners, right? And they're being harassed by guards in some occasions. And abused in other occasions. And then we're out here, well, we're in one giant national prison, if you think about it. Because when you come across a park ranger, or, I mean, you have a level of anxiety now. Because you don't know if it's going to be a good guy, if he's going to just, like, leave you alone and not say anything. You don't know. When you see law enforcement nowadays, whether it be behind your vehicle when you're driving, you get nervous. Because we now know that there have been so many cases of brutality, escalated force, murders from cops and other law enforcement officials. There's so much of that we get so nervous around them that we're worried that even a casual encounter with law enforcement can turn deadly over nothing. That's if you're a law enforcement watching this, that's our concern everywhere we go now. So I feel like an inmate and a prisoner in my own nation, because I don't know if a casual encounter with a U.S. Marshal or anybody is going to turn into a deadly situation where my life is ended for nothing. I don't know. I literally have that on my mind every time I shake hands with a police officer, whether he's state or local. I literally have that on my mind when I'm shaking hands with U.S. Marshals. Is this encounter going to result in me getting tased or shot? It is on my mind. Like right now, it looks like he's being nice or she's being nice, but they have a weapon. And if they misconstrue anything, and they often do, that's what we're seeing out there. If they misconstrue anything and get trigger happy, I'm dead. Or tased, or harassed, or will be abused, or arrested. You know, best case scenario, just harassed. Worst case scenario, dead. Those are my options. Actually, best case scenario, friendly, and the engagement stays casual and nothing happens. Best case scenario, right? So I don't know what's going to happen though, right? What was that now, Jamie?
Oh, I was just going to say, and just the fact that they can do this without any repercussions. I mean, they get paid administrative leave after they murder somebody. I mean, and whether it's, you know, if a man's running away from you without a weapon, and these individuals decide to pull a gun and eliminate that life, paid administrative leave. Yeah, we've seen it happen.
And then they investigate themselves and find themselves innocent. That's not justice. There's no winning. That's not justice. And think about not just the community that we're most familiar with, but think about the other communities in America that we may not like how they deliver their message, but think about this. They truly have been oppressed and abused for much longer than some of us, and with a lot larger numbers. And in those communities, they're sick of it. And so they're acting out aggressively and violently in some cases that we shouldn't condone. I mean, we can't do that. We've got to find a way to unite and reach our... But they need to know other people in America do recognize their plight. You know, like they were being abused with police brutality much longer than some of us that have been only experiencing it, like with the BLM and EPA, if you include that, maybe for like 20 years opposed to, you know, back to the 70s maybe. But other communities have been brutalized because Americans didn't care about those communities. But we should. I mean, it's part of America. We should care about all of our communities. And we shouldn't accept the fact that we have ghettos. We shouldn't have ghettos. Why do we have ghettos? Why do we have communities that can't thrive, that can't get anywhere, that are indoctrinated, you know? Why do we have that? We shouldn't accept this. We should... If you love freedom and liberty and you're a humanitarian, truly, especially... I want to reach out to the people on the liberal side of the aisle that claim to be humanitarians. If you truly are a humanitarian, then why aren't you out here making videos like this for others and bringing out and educating people about the atrocities and doing your very best to utilize the resources still available to us within the government system to stand against those atrocities peacefully? And teach others how we can do things together and unite peacefully. I would ask you to look in the mirror and ask yourselves that question. So, all right, I believe the infighting and diminishes our purpose. Totally. The whole thing gets undermined. But it'll bounce back, guys. Look, I've been watching this for a year and a half now. It breaks my freaking heart, like every time. And sometimes I get personally hurt by it in the midst of it. Somewhere I'm in the middle of it somewhere, you know, and I get an owie out of it. And but here's the deal: we're gonna bounce back again. Trolls are gonna have some fun with all this right now. Government's laughing at us right now. Sure, yeah, laugh now, cry later, because you know the tidal wave will turn back again. Because we are not going to stop. We're not going to stop. Some people are gonna make up later. You know, that's the other thing I would advise you. Be careful taking sides. Because this is something I do. When people hurt me and then they take a side against me, I remember them. I may not tell you I remember what you did and said behind my back to keep that person that misunderstood me to continuously misunderstand me. But now me and that person made up. And I remember your involvement. I remember you agitating the situation. I remember you I remember those people, and I keep my eye on that. So I would not take sides if I were you people. I would not take sides. I would step back. Think about, if you're taking sides, you're or what's the word I'm looking for? You're eviscerating, you're just agitating the situation. You're agitating the situation, and you will be remembered. And sometimes they make up. Because a lot of us have been involved in this for a long time. And we're like brothers. We're truly like real family. We're going to fight. We're going to fight, and we're going to make up. And some of these people are going to make up one day. And when they make up and start to realize all the misunderstandings and other individuals that maybe they didn't know about, when they start talking again, you're going to get talked about. If you were in the middle agitating the situation, your name's going to get brought up. So it is really stupid for you to get yourself involved so deeply and take a side so staunchly that you hurt the person that they're mad at. And you're not even on the ground. You don't even know. You don't even know that the person you love and favor and put on a pedestal could be a little bit wrong, could be a little bit misled, could be a little bit blind by rage and misunderstanding because they have other people whispering in their ear, helping them to stay mad. And when an air clears and they make up and you are just egging it on, you will be remembered. And your value as a person and your character is questioned. Provocateurs. That's often what I see. I'm like, that's a provocateur. And I don't call them out by name because they're still around and sometimes they're doing great things. They're laying a little lower because, I made up with somebody made up with me, and we're putting a huge effort into staying friends and not letting people get between us and whisper in our ears anymore. I would stay out of this stuff if I were you folks, especially you online warriors, never been on the ground. You crack me up because you're getting involved in situations you don't know nothing about. You only know what one person says, and you're like, I favor that person because I don't like that person's style. I don't like the way that person does this. I don't like that, so I'm going to favor this person. I'm going to, elevate them, show them love. If you care about us on the ground as individuals, show us your love, but don't talk shit with us. If I come out against somebody right now in a video and I'm like, they did this to me and they did that and I'm butthurt, don't join me in that. Just show me that you love me. Just be like, sorry that you're going through that, Mo. I have a lot of great, awesome audience members that do exactly that. There were times where I'm like, man, well, today you'll see me say things like, man, my heart's broken. I don't talk about why it's broken. I don't talk about the name because it's just not going to help anything. So I'm just like, my heart's broken. And you know what people do? They get on and they say, I'm sorry you're going through that. You're in my prayers. That's simple. That's all I need if you care about me, that's all I need from you. I don't need you. I don't need any of you to stand with me against another patriot. Nope. I don't need you to do that. I'll never need you to do that. Ever. Nope. So please consider these words. Consider them. Just consider the words and take it with a grain of salt. Think about your online behavior and conduct, and your conduct if you are on the ground. Think about how you can conduct yourself better and just focus on your own issues and the case and the mission at hand, and stay focused on that, because you're not going to stop other people from libertying up their own way. You're not going to change them by attacking them. Oh, I got the truth for you guys. They did this, and that. That's not going to help anything. It didn't help if that person did it to you once upon a time ago. It didn't help when they did it, and it's not going to help for you to stoop to their level and start doing it to them. It's just not going to work. And that I learned that last year. Just that's why my friend who loved me and cared about me so much would tell me, just don't worry about it, Mo. It's going to be, you got to get over it. You got to handle it. That's not your focus. If you're spending energy on and time on that, then you're wasting your energy and time that could be better spent we got a real problem here with the government. You need to spend your time and energy on that. Don't spend your time and energy on that person. They don't matter. They don't matter. So I would just say, if you're in a position where you're butthurt right now, angry and frustrated with someone else, that person does not matter to your case. They don't matter. They matter to other people and their case, but they don't matter to yours. They don't help. If you don't like the way they do things, then don't work with them. And if someone else likes the way they do things and wants to work with them, then they're going to do that. That's their right. We're not going to change that. We're just factioning. We're just causing factioning. If you believe that they cause factioning, and then you want to say they're causing factioning and this is their name, then you just cause some additional factioning. That's what I learned last year when I spoke about things to a certain degree. I didn't do it too often, but every once in a while I did. And I learned, yep, I'm still causing factioning too by calling it out. It's not going to work. It's not like I want people to take my side. I just want people to be like, you know, be careful with that. I care about the community. But you know what? The community's going to thrive anyway. And it might thrive better if I just shut my freaking mouth about petty shit that has nothing to do with the damn case. Because I don't like the way they liberty. Whatever. That's not my business, is it? So I learned a lot from last year. You know, there's some times that we can pull each other aside and critique each other lovingly and say, you know, it might be, you know, give them ideas and suggestions and listen to one another. I would advise everybody to do that, even the most stubborn, loving but stubborn people out there. We're all alpha personality types, so we're totally gonna rub each other wrong, man. I mean, it's like being in the military all over again. When you're when you're a voice that's been elevated, it's probably because you have some cojones to do that, and if you have an audience or anything like that, it's because you have cojones to speak. So you're an alpha personality type. I don't know which type, but there's multiple levels of it. Some of us are worse than others. We're gonna rub each other wrong. Alpha personality types usually are the most difficult to get along with for all alpha personality types. So we're just gonna have to we're gonna have to adapt, man. Like in the military, we gotta learn to congeal. When we have unit cohesion, that's how we survive battles. So we need some unit cohesion in the Patriot movement. With all alpha military soldiers are mostly alpha personality types, especially leadership. So this is nothing new to me. Nothing new to me. The only thing new to me is I can't give you a direct order, you know, because you're all a bunch of civilians and totally undisciplined, by the way. But I love you anyway. So the new thing for me is I can't, if I have a soldier that's acting rogue or starting factioning and interrupting the process of unit cohesion, I can counsel them. I can sit them down and be like, this is what you did wrong, A, B, and C, and this is what I expect you will do correct. You will correct yourself, or these will be your further consequences. For right now, this is a warning. I've warned you verbally, and now it's on paper. Now it's being recorded, and if you do it again, you're going to get another counseling statement, and then these are the actions that can be taken with the chain of command. We're going up higher to leadership. I get to do that. I don't get to do that in this movement. Oh, no, no, no. So, it's going to be what it's going to be, folks. Everybody gets to act out how they want, and they don't all have the training that I have to, suck it up. They don't have the training that I have to understand what real factioning it is and if they're causing it or not. They don't have the leadership skills that I have to identify a situation and correct it. They don't have it. We're a bunch of civilians there's no blueprint here either. We're involved in a situation, in a battle that even soldiers know nothing about. We don't have a blueprint. We're kind of screwed, guys. It's at our disadvantage. What's happening to us as a nation is kind of at our disadvantage right now, right? So, you know, that's where God is in control, not us, right? That's where we got to rely on God. That's right. Jamie said absolutely. We got to rely on God for the things that we cannot fix and for the things that we cannot control. And we got to give things time. We got to learn to give things time, folks. The personal problems that are going on need some time. That's what they need. And they need our love and our support, but they don't need us hating others with them. They don't need that. If they're mad right now and angry and furious, rightfully or not, they don't need us hating with them. We don't need to spread it. We just need to focus on the missions, the education, and the kid. We still got work to do. If you're part of this movement and not afraid to stand up and not afraid to engage and be firm, then we got to keep doing that. All right, who's doing the laughy faces? I'm going to find you and you're getting your ass blocked, by the way. Whoever you are, so keep it up. You must, you know, I know we got trolls watching them, but I love when they expose themselves. For the laughy faces, when I know that it's inappropriate right now, this is bad timing for the laughy faces. When I'm giving some good information for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. I don't usually spend my time blocking a lot of people, but I want my environment on my page to stay good, and I love it when you guys give yourself away, by the way. So thank you for the laughy faces. You have given yourself away, and I will not be letting you disrupt or interrupt people on my page. So I see you, I'm watching you, and you've got my attention with your laughy faces. You did it, good job. Round of applause. And as soon as I finish this video, you're out. You're done. Go express your First Amendment rights on your own wall, baby. It'll be all right. And I'm going to keep on carrying on. So laugh now, cry later, sweetheart. Spread the love message that Jesus taught, laughing on the whole community. Alpha types in this community. Correct. You know I won't hesitate to advise where needed, since both of us are bred up that way from our uniform days, Mo. So far you have are doing good. Thanks, Charles. If we had more beta than alpha, we'd be in trouble, right? Because we would be like, yes, sir, no, sir. We'd be so compliant. Wish you could, LOL. Waging any war generally doesn't come with a blueprint. Divine intervention and faith are crucial in any battle. That's right, Charles. Thanks, guys. That's all I got. All right. That's all they got is weak BS. I know, they actually, I've noticed my troll, because, like, they know I don't really put up with their crazy-ass comments. I don't do that. Like, if you are I like my this is my Facebook wall. And it is my right and my freedom to ensure that people who wish to educate themselves through the content I put out are in a comfortable environment and not being attacked by those that are provoking and agitating on purpose. Because that is a distraction, and I don't need you guys going through that. So the only reason why people really get blocked on my wall is because they're causing a distraction that's unnecessary. They're not focused, or they're truly a paid agitator and troll. And I want the environment comfortable for you guys to engage amongst each other. I don't mind preaching to others that need more education, but that's why there's like 4,000 and something followers that don't leave comments. Because, like, if you're not my Facebook friend, you cannot leave a comment. But if you're just following me but not my friend, you cannot leave a comment. But there's like tons of followers out there, and I believe me, most of those guys are probably trolls just watching so that they can mirror my stuff, share my content, and make fun of it somewhere, or archive it for the feds. And I know about all that. It's all right. I've seen it. But you know, the education isn't just preaching to the choir, by the way. The information and content that I'm putting out there is seen. It does go viral to YouTube and places I've never dreamt of. Some of it is you know, undermined and misconstrued and taken out of context when they take a little clip of it out, things like that, like they're doing to Kelly Stewart right now. Some of it is thought about. That means I get a wider audience and I'm not preaching to the choir. So I don't mind the trolls watching, but when they start engaging where they're a distraction to try to cause indifference or try to cause more factioning or agitate or any of those negative things, then I'm going to remove them. If the trolls that are watching me are quiet and well behaved and conduct themselves appropriately by not engaging with an audience that does not deserve their harassment, then they can stay and watch. They can stay on my friends list. I don't care. People send me messages all the time. You got to troll. I've got 1,000 or 2,000 trolls, okay? It's all right. If my trolls are well behaved and do not create an environment to have to remove them, then I'm going to let them stay.
They can stay under the bridge.
They can stay under the bridge where they belong. That's why they're trolls and paid government agitators. But if they're well behaved and conduct themselves appropriately and respectfully by being fucking quiet, it's my wall, so I get to make the rules, right? It's my right, it's my wall. And if I want to educate people, I want to educate them without their distractions. But if my trolls start acting out, they're gone. I don't do anything until they bother my audience or bother me. If it does bother me and I don't like it, then yeah, I'm going to deal with it because it's my wall. Now, I will never tell anybody else what to do with their own wall, and I will never leave comments that are agitating on others' walls or bossy or like, you know, whatever. If I want to critique or criticize somebody privately, I would do it privately. Not agitate. I don't want to disrupt their audience. I don't want to get, you know, it's not my business. It's their audience. It's their wall. Look, I have rights. Don't infringe on mine. But when you're on my wall, don't infringe on mine. But when I'm on your wall, I won't infringe on yours. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like my content, you shouldn't be watching it. If you think I'm valuable, then you're going to be there. If you think I'm funny and entertaining because you think I'm an idiot, then go do what you're going to do with my videos. They're obviously made public, so go tear it up and go laugh at me somewhere else. But on my wall, you're going to leave my audience alone and you're going to leave me alone. So if you want to keep watching everything that I produce, all my content, you want to make fun of it, you want to tear it apart, that's fine. Just take the video, go mirror it somewhere else, enjoy, go have fun, laugh, but you're not going to interfere with me and my audience. That's not happening. So that's why I do what I do. I wanted to say that, by the way, because my friend, we have friends that, or people that are like, if you're blocking everybody, then you're causing factioning. And then that's their opinion. Okay, fine, that's your opinion. I've seen the comments. But to tell you the truth, our walls are our walls, and we get to block who the freak we want when they act stupid. And if they're causing agitation, some people don't. Some people are like, let them agitate, let everybody see who the trolls are. But I don't want that distraction. So I do block them. I get rid of them, you know. But they're still watching me. The trolls are still watching me and getting plenty of my content because it gets spread everywhere. I've even seen trolls change their ways because of it. Like, you know, somehow I hit a nerve that actually, you know, and the education seeped in. Oops, government, the education seeped in. So, yeah. All right, guys. Maybe those quiet trolls will learn something, God willing. Yeah, that's how I look at it. But if they start messing with the audience that values this content and wants to receive what I'm saying, then, you know, then they're gone. And that's for you guys too. Since it's my wall, I get to determine, you know, that I care about that you have a good environment here. If you like hostility and agitation and you love debating trolls, then there's other people for you to listen to that allow the trolls to come in. So go over there and fight with the trolls. I don't like that environment. So I don't like that kind of chaos. I think that feeds into the factioning. All right, now I'm going to let you guys go for real. Talk at y'all later. We'll keep updating you. I'm going to get some rest.